reference to anime.
John Madden is not anime.
Hello and welcome to episode 26 of the Sega Addicts After Hours, everyone. We are recovering today. I am Scotty Moe, the host of today, and with me is Brett Hatfield.
And I am dead.
And Thomas Avantis, a.k.a. Pocky X.
I think I spent most of the marathon that I was on just complaining about Brett, and I apologize.
And also Stevie Grant.
Vodka and hot chocolate is a brilliant drink. If you're below the the drinking age in your country, then definitely have it because you'll be really cool.
Great, fantastic. So we'll just talk about what everyone's been playing first. And are you just downing Dayquil now, Brett? What was that?
This is Ocean Spray Cran Lemonade, and it's damn good.
I thought we killed you.
Well,
This is what kept me going last night. Wait, what happened?
What?
I was laughing at Stevie because it just turned to him and he was just going. I wasn't sure if that was his reaction to Ocean Spray or his vodka.
real beverage is Gatorade Fierce. Great.
You got the wrong flavor, though. You should have got that Glacier Cherry, son.
I should probably be drinking Gatorade instead of Dr. Pepper.
This and Sundrop is what kept me going last night.
Oh, okay. That has more caffeine in it? That's what you were talking about?
No, it just kept me awake.
Oh, okay. All right, well,
It didn't really, did it? You fell asleep, so
I didn't
that was a
fall
lie.
asleep.
I know better, Brett.
we'll talk about what people have been playing real quick besides me and Brett. So, Stevie, what have you been playing lately?
So I've been playing Kingdom Tales for Strategy Informer. Not really much to say about that yet, but I'm going to put a review for that sometime soon. I'm talking about Kingdoms, though. I've been playing the very first Kingdom Hearts. I played a little bit of that, and you know how whenever Kingdom Hearts 2 gets mentioned, I make fun of the fact that the Roxas stuff at the beginning is like 3 hours long and it's so tedious and boring?
Yep.
I completely forgot that the first Kingdom Hearts has the first 2 hours on Destiny Island that are completely boring and
Where you
tedious.
try to build that fucking raft that goes nowhere.
Yeah, and you have to name it, and you don't even get to name it in the end. And
Because,
it's just like,
because it's impossible to beat Riku in that fucking race.
yeah, I tried a good couple of times. And are you actually? Is it possible to beat him?
I've
Or are
seen
you
somebody.
supposed to
I've
lose?
seen somebody do it, but it's really fucking hard. I've never been able to pull it off.
I assumed that it was a story point that he has to beat you, but it's like I think it's like 3 hours until you get to the first like Disney World, which is where I would say the game like begins. That's when the tutorial is over. Essentially, is when you get to I'd say like the Hercules World, which is what I'm on now. So, and that's like about 2 hours and 30 minutes in. So I guess the series, never really did show restraint when it came to tedious beginnings.
Interesting.
But I would still say that it's not as bad as it's horrible and it involves a lot of wandering around, finding coconuts stupidly and
Catching fish.
Catching fish is so annoying, but yeah, at least it's not. I remember the Roxas stuff being infinitely worse, so at least there's that.
Finding coconuts. Good times.
Yeah, but hey, at least there's the fun Disney stuff I'm up to now. All of the setup stuff. You've played Kingdom Hearts, Brett. What do you necessarily think at the beginning? Do you?
I agree with you that it's an exercise in tedium in both Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. What I did for HD Remix, though, is I used it as an opportunity to level up pretty high by doing the training battles with like Tidus and Selphie and Waka. And that gave me a huge advantage going into the game. So using it for that was pretty cool, but I do agree. It's like the story bits and the racing and the coconut finding and the fish catching and all that shit is a little too much. And I'm hoping...
Yeah, they could have shaved like an hour off it easily.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that hard to say, okay, this is Sora. He's the boring main hero. This is Riku. He's going to be a pain in your ass later. This is Kairi. you're gonna want to screw her at some point.
Well, they're like...
She's a child!
Yeah, they're like
I'm just saying,
14.
that's what it's trying to position her as, though.
She's a child!
She's the obvious love interest.
Well, there's also, like... They could have just cut out one of the days. You have 2 days on Destiny Island full of just getting stuff for the stupid raft. You could have just had one of the days. You didn't need 2 or even 3, I think
The
there
worst
is.
thing is knowing that the raft plotline is going to go nowhere. You're doing this for nothing, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't even...
Unless that shit comes back in Kingdom Hearts 3 somehow, that went nowhere and it was pointless. It's the same with Rox. Well, I almost feel like the Roxas thing was a little bit better because it kind of humanized him, and it made you realize just what you'd be losing by going back to Sora. But it was still way too fucking long.
Oh yeah, the Sora stuff is like... How long would you say that is? Because I would say it's a good 3 hours.
Yeah, I spent a good 3 hours there, not counting like training stuff.
Oh yeah, it's just like the worst part of that game. I don't know why Kingdom... Because like everything after the opening is like really, really fun and good.
Yeah!
I don't know why.
Like,
It was the
Trevor's
same
sounds
with...
fun.
I was just going to say it's the same with... also played the DS game... 300 something over whatever days, and that had a really awful opening as well.
There is one good thing about 358 by 2, and that is
You even know all the numbers, Christ.
Yeah.
300 something.
Why do you know that, Brett?
Because I put a lot of time into that game.
I don't like it.
It wasn't
Would
worth
you
it.
say you've put 352 hours in 2 days?
Maybe not that much, but
I like Stevie's title better, 300 something over whatever, because that's what it means to everybody.
Yeah,
that's
no one really
why
knows.
that's why I call it when I'm not trying to be a professional podcaster.
Oh yeah, when we're all being professional right now.
We are totally professional in my.
If you want to work in games, then you must know the exact name for every Kingdom Hearts spin-off. It's like, that's impossible because everyone is named so incomprehensibly.
Birth by Sleep is the least
Yeah.
incomprehensible.
And then there's, was it Dream Drop Distance?
Yeah, that's the latest one.
Yeah, that at least kind of works.
There's Recoded, there's Chain of Memories, Re-Chain of Memories, Final Mix Plus.
Well, I think the reason that they have that long intro in the beginning, it feels long, but that's nothing compared to Final Fantasy games. So I think they tried to honestly condense it for people that are going to be playing something because of the Disney atmosphere, which is interesting that it's still that stupidly long.
Yeah.
I won't say that about Final Fantasy right now because the last few games, like Type 0, didn't have a long tutorial. 13.
Final Fantasy 13, the 13 is supposed to be like 3/4 of the game as a tutorial.
Yeah, the linear parts in Cocoon kind of feel like that at times, but like 13.2 didn't have a huge tutorial. Lightning Returns had barely any kind of tutorial. So I don't know if that's entirely fair, but as far as like the older games go, yeah, like Final Fantasy VIII with Balam Garden, and like you have to take Selphie around and teach her where everything is.
That's what I mean, though. The games you were just talking about came out after Kingdom Hearts, so I don't think they apply.
Yeah. I think about it.
What else have you been playing, Stevie?
What else have I been playing? Still, like a ton. Oh yes, I didn't mention this, but a couple weeks back, I could have talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I forgot about it. Even though it's really, really interesting to talk about, but I played and beat Spec Ops: The Line. What have you guys played Spec Ops: The Line?
No.
I forgot to get it on that sale.
We had this discussion last time, I think.
Excuse me.
We talked about Kingdom Hearts and we talked about Spec Ops. Are we in a time loop?
No, I don't think we've talked about.
Yeah.
Have you talked about Spec Ops though, Tom Huss?
Yeah, I think I remember saying that I got in a kill room and then I got killed, and then I stopped playing.
Well, I would say it's worth playing.
I was very bored.
I would actually say Scotty and Brett, do you know the basic setup of? Do you know what Spec Ops: The Line is, like why and why, like the reaction to it?
Nope.
I know a
Okay.
little bit from what you've told me.
Okay, then I would say the best thing to do is get it on a sale or rent it, or you can find it pre-owned for like really, really cheap now, like insanely cheap, and get it. It's really kind of short. It's not that long, but it's worth playing.
Oh, yeah.
All I'm gonna tell you is it's a military-based cover third-person shooter, and that's all I'll tell you.
And if you already have motion sickness from these types of shooters like I do, then it's still going to do that.
Oh.
And ruin the experience.
Okay, well, I'll just say, all I want to say is it's a third-person cover shooter, and that's all. You don't look up anything else about it. You just play it, and I want to see what your reaction to it is.
Okay, cool. Tom, what have you been playing?
Oh wait, there's one more thing I've been playing that
Okay.
has to do with Sega.
Okay.
You didn't start
Condemned.
Something out of the ordinary. Ooh, okay. Did the
I played
first
the
one.
first chapter of Condemned, and I will just say, for Condemned, I'm really, really liking it, but it's busting my balls because it has a shitty save system and it has rubbish checkpoints.
Oh yeah, I think there's like a checkpoint per level, and then there's the end of the level, if I remember correctly, or something like that.
Well, what it was I was playing it, and I saved, and I had to go. This is in the middle of the first level, so I saved it and went, and it was kind of like, actually the whole menu screen kind of reminded me of like a PC game, but the way that you save it is also like a PC game, where it just you have multiple files and you can just quick save as much as you want, and it will say the date and blah blah blah. You just have loads of file slots. So I made my save, went out, came back later, loaded my save up, and I was I'd say about 5 minutes apart from where I went from, which, that's fine. It's not that far back. I backtracked. And then I got to the end of the level, and it took me to up the in-between screen between the first and second level, and I saved it, and I started level 2, and then I just went off because that was all I wanted to play for the day. And I went back on just to check because I was getting a little bit paranoid because of the other checkpoint mishap, and it took me back to, like, I think halfway through the level, like the first level, and it was really, really annoying. Like, why didn't it save in between levels? Surely that's the point where most people would stop.
That's weird. That never happened. And it's been years since I played the first one. I don't remember that happening, but I would usually play that in long spurts, though. I'd get through a couple levels. I don't know. I couldn't put it down.
It must be like, I think it's just because it's like, it was a launch game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a launch game, yeah.
I think it's just launch game. I think you can, like, forgive it for that.
Yeah, a lot of the things in there, you're like, oh, yeah, this was a launch game. You'll encounter that here and there, for sure. But I like it, though. I'll be interested to hear what more you have to say about it. 'Cause
I think it's great. I love that it's like, have you guys seen 7?
No, actually, I haven't. But every time people have mentioned that to me whenever I mention this game.
Oh, right. Well, I guess it's definitely got stuff in common with that. 7's a brilliant movie. You should watch that. But I really like Condemned, though it is kind of like, it's kind of hard to, like, it is a really scary game, and it's got a lot of atmosphere, and it's quite brilliant. I really enjoy the combat, but like, it's kind of like, it makes you feel a bit bad when you think of the situation. All you're doing is you're a detective who's just going into abandoned buildings and beating homeless people up with steel pipes and then shoving dead birds into his jacket.
For justice.
For justice, yeah. The dead birds is the funniest thing, because
at first I was like, the first time that happened and I hadn't read anything about this game, I'm like, am I supposed to pick this up? This is just an animal's carcass. Why would I want this?
Yeah, I just like to imagine, wasn't it Ethan, is it? The main character's name?
Yeah.
I just like to imagine Ethan, like, with a detective's trench coat, just, like, shoving dead birds into his jacket, and, like, just punching homeless people.
This is a keeper. All right. Oh, I gotta find that killer.
Yeah, yeah, and there's a killer on the loose as well. But
That
what I
sounds
liked,
sounds like an SNL skit or something.
but what I liked about at least the first level is that it gave you the feeling of almost being like a slasher victim in a horror movie, like
Yeah.
running away from this killer. Like, the lighting is really good for a launch game especially. And I don't think the graphics aren't that good at times. You can tell it's a launch game. At times it does look kind of like a PS2 game.
Yeah.
Like the faces.
Yeah,
I think
they're kind of wonky, but it does. That was the biggest draw of that game was the atmosphere, and when it did come out, it was like one of the creepier games. It kind of just got pushed under the rug, especially since it was made by Sega. People were like, "What is Sega doing? Like, this is a scary game. They've never done something like this." So it was kind of nobody knew how to react to it, but then people finally played it, and it was still kind of split down the middle. Some people thought meh, some people thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome. Apart from like a few first missteps, like because it's a launch game, which you can easily forgive it for.
Yeah.
And especially since it does some things brilliantly for a launch game, like as you said, the lighting. I think it has brilliant lighting, and it's very atmospheric. There are parts in it where you like the first level you're walking through and you just see a shadow run past of this killer, right. and you just see some doors open, and sometimes the doors are closed and you have to open them yourself, and there's a lot of really, really scary tactics that the game uses, and I'll be really interested to see what happens next. I do think that the investigating stuff can be a little bit finicky at times, though. Like you have to be in the exact spot to press and investigate the evidence. Even if the evidence is staring you in the face, you have to be really specific.
Yeah, you could be. I actually had that problem a couple of times because I was, whenever you have to scan something or whatever, and I don't know why, but I was getting caught up in the level, and then I was staring at something like, why isn't this working? And I was like, oh, I don't even have my phone right in front of my face, whatever. Like, I'm just staring at a wall for no reason. But,
yeah, that's another thing. Imagine Ethan Thomas just like with his phone out completely.
It's like, it's like
phone out, shoving the dead birds in there, hitting the homeless people.
Sorry, my phone just went off. That was unexpected.
Making some crazy money there, Scotty.
I guess so.
Just like hitting homeless people on the head, like it does kind of make you feel guilty when you're just like completely battering these people.
A little bit. Yeah, the second one, I will say, if any.
I know the second one you are homeless, aren't you?
Yeah, you start out at the bottom, but they do have some investigative stuff still. Yeah, some investigative stuff still, but it's not nearly as much as the first game because I think they realized that really did, as kind of slow of a game as that is, that slowed down the pacing even more. So they took it out for a good bit of it. So that was really my only complaint is like the investigative stuff. I knew what they were trying to do, and it does create the feeling that you are a detective, but at the same time, it's too sci-fi for what should be a modern horror game. So it like kind of brought you out of there for a second.
It's a bit like, not to the extent of, it's nowhere near as bad as this, but it's kind of a tiny bit, it reminded me of it. But have you guys played Heavy Rain?
Oh yeah, to death.
Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about, is when you get it's set in modern day, but there's a detective who has like glasses that have like holographic fields and everything.
Yeah, like, Google Glass before it was even out and stuff.
Yeah, it's not even Google Glass. It's like this super high tech, like alien technology, and it's like a detective story set in modern day. It's like really.
When you go back to his office and suddenly, whoosh, you are in a Windows wallpaper desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really dumb, but otherwise it's the first level set, could go anywhere, but I'm quite enjoying Condemned. I think it's a very overlooked scary game, I'd like to say.
That too. Cool. I'm excited to hear more about what you think about that. Tom, what have you been playing?
Well, before I begin, I just want to say the way events unfolded in the past conversation gave me this very unwanted idea for a video game, which is a cross between Condemned and Crazy Taxi, where you basically just ride around and going to different locations to beat the living shit out of homeless people.
Or you just run over.
To the
homeless
sounds of the
people.
Offspring.
No, that would be Carmageddon, and that already happened. we don't want to...
You could have, instead of like take me to the KFC, you could like take me to the homeless shelter, and then at the end you just get out and then just start whacking them in the head.
Yeah, because that's key. Is you need the visceral combat of actually using your two hands and a toilet seat to really punch someone's brains out.
And then they go,
smothering somebody with his hat.
"Here, thanks for dropping me off. Have some dead birds."
That's awesome.
You would not be making a lot of money in this game. You would not be making crazy money because your end goal is to mug homeless people.
And you're already a little bit crazy, so.
Yeah. If anything, Condemned should have been called Crazy Detective. Hey, ready to make some crazy beatings.
I'm on the beat.
One could dream.
Homeless people, that is.
Oh boy.
So to sum up what I've been playing, Scotty Mo has been watching Sword Art Online on Netflix and talking about it, which got me thinking, you know what? I watched Sword Art Online in Japanese a long time ago, and I thought it was the first 14 episodes were some of the best anime I've ever seen, and then it quickly became a siscon nightmare. That I did not want to be part of.
What is siscon?
Sister complex.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the rest of this show.
The second, I hear season 2 is off to the right start, but oh my god, the second act of, I'm just gonna warn you about it. The second arc of Sword Art Online season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Basically takes Asuna.
What is he even talking about? I got no idea. He lost.
Sword Art Online is an anime that is about an MMO that people use this crazy virtual helmet to play, and then thousands of people get stuck in it. And if you die in the game, you die in real life.
The Oculus Rift, basically.
Yeah. It's the Oculus Rift for Phantasy Star Online. The show.
Like that movie Stay Alive with Malcolm in the Middle.
It's exactly the same. But
something is that Sword Art Online, the game Sword Art Online, ends in episode 14.
Oh, that's weird.
And then the next game starts, which is Elf World Fuckery. I don't remember what it's called.
I think that name would take off, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure that name would be a hit in Japan since they don't know that word as well. But yeah, basically Asuna becomes a damsel who gets abused, and then the main love interest of the arc becomes Kirito's sister, younger sister. So that's how that second arc goes, and I'm watching it and getting more disappointed with every episode. But the video game that just came out on the PlayStation Vita, Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment, is based off of the first arc of Sword Art Online.
I'm assuming that's an import.
Nope. It is on the U.S. PlayStation Store. You can download
Wow.
it.
Okay.
And
You talking?
That's a shocker.
it's about $40.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's an expensive title, but you know what? From what I've been playing, and this is relevant to all of my friends who like Sega stuff, this game is worth playing. It's worth playing especially if you like the show, but I think it's worth playing either way, because what it really feels like to me is an evolution of the formula from Phantasy Star Online, or Phantasy Star Portable 2.
Oh, okay.
It's got the same hack and slash gameplay with a little bit more depth because you can unleash sword arts and just do crazy combos. It's got a partner system where you can order your partner in combat, or you can take instruction from them, and you get SP bonuses for doing so, which kind of simulates the idea of playing with other people, but you're not. You're playing with AI characters. And it's just a really good time so far.
So is this, sorry, just to make sure, is this an action game that's designed to look and feel like an MMO when really it's all generated already?
Yes.
Okay, that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, and it's designed to mimic the look and feel of the show. And if you don't watch the first arc of Sword Art Online, which I encourage everybody to watch up to episode 14 and then pretend the rest of the series doesn't exist, because it goes downhill very quickly.
Yeah, it's actually an anime that I have a friend who doesn't watch anime at all, has not watched, never really been a big fan, but someone showed him Sword Art Online just because he's a gamer, and he actually really likes it, but still doesn't care about any other anime.
Yeah, it's a really good series for those first 14 episodes, and then it's a lot like Heroes Season 1. We just forget anything else comes afterwards. But I hear Season 2 is good, which is why I've been soldiering through the second arc. But while I'm soldiering through that second arc, I've been keeping myself busy with Hollow Fragment on the Vita, and my God, is this a game a lot of fun. So if you're like me, and you've just been looking for that Phantasy Star Portable 2 fix ever since the Vita came out, and you've been waiting for it.
There it is.
Yeah, it is.
Get screenshots. And
Yeah,
things.
boy. Scotty, talk.
I was holding it up to the camera, listeners. Is it only one player? Oh no, it says it's got ad hoc.
It's got ad hoc. I don't know what that's going to be like because I don't have friends with Vitas in real life.
Yeah, right.
But maybe it'd be fun. I don't know.
So, but that means it's only local then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Graphically, it looks like a PSP game, and there's a reason for that because it's kind of like a graphical upgrade of the first Sword Art Online game, which was a PSP game.
Right.
But that doesn't bother me.
Oh, okay. I got confused because it has Kirito, but he has blonde hair for a second. I guess you can customize, huh?
Yeah, you could customize your avatar, but you're still playing as Kirito.
Okay.
Yeah, so it really doesn't matter. I didn't customize it that much. I just changed his stupid hair.
Oh, that's what we need. More acronyms. It says, with its VRMMO-like genre. I'm like, good gosh.
I love how it has to specify.
The only way I could spend $40 on that is if I definitely know people around me would get that in real life, because I hate paying more than $10 for digital content, even if it's a full game. So.
Yeah, and this is a 50-hour plus RPG.
I'll have to think about that.
Money's worth.
I'll have to think about that with next paycheck, because it's very rare you find a good game based off an anime you like. So.
Mm-hmm. And I've just basically
One Piece games. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's phenomenal.
One
But
Piece
I
games
don't
seem to
care
be
about
good.
that
There's a few Dragon Ball games that are still really good. Like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is pretty good.
Yeah, but those are fighting games, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
but they're
often
not.
fighting games.
show. The first Budokai I thought was actually good because it wasn't just another 2D fighter. That's the last Dragon Ball game I played. But
Yeah, like the ones that have like the behind the back view, it's not your traditional fighter, but I love it because it's such a Dragon Ball thing to do. It makes it feel more like the series to have the behind the back view for that fighting.
And the Naruto
stuff.
Ninja Storm games are good, like that.
I've heard they're good. I've never played them because I don't like Naruto.
and actually, the game that Platinum's putting out for Legend of Korra is supposed to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
It's a Platinum game, so I didn't even care about Korra.
Yeah.
It's Platinum, so...
Honestly, same here. I've watched like 2 seasons of Avatar. I've never seen Legend of Korra, but it's Platinum, so I'll play it.
Yeah.
I've seen 1 season of Korra, and I don't give a shit about Korra, but I
give a
will
shit
play
about
that. But yeah, but the main thing I want to get across to everyone is Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment feels like the game we've been wanting to play, which is Phantasy Star Portable 2.
Man,
Feels
that's
like
nothing.
Not the same, but it's scratching that itch that I've been needing to get scratched for so long. So that's...
Should have put some lotion on that, man.
God damn it, Brett.
We tried to rub his Vita on it, and then he accidentally downloaded Sword Art Online, and that's what happened. Ta-da!
So,
Sword Art Online sounds like one of those ads you used to get for like really stupid MMOs that had like a busty woman with like "Come play now, my lord." It's like one of those. It sounds like one of those. Do you remember that? Eve
Absolutely.
Online.
No, it definitely does. I think they did that on purpose so that it could just
Sort
be, yeah, this is a generic MMO. You know what you're getting into kind of show, you know?
So, but I have been playing stuff almost exclusively on the Vita lately. I've been playing Velocity 2X, which is the follow-up to just the game Velocity, and that is a lot of fun. Everyone should try it. It's like $10, I think. Totally worth it. Actually, no, it's $20. Still totally worth it.
I think that's on a sale or a sale, or it wasn't a sale recently. I don't know.
TXK, free for
That's
PlayStation Plus members. That is lots of fun too. And of course, I've been playing Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, which still continues to surprise me with how good it is. And I did not expect it to be this good.
Well, you're really enjoying it.
It is. I am almost disappointed in myself.
That's okay.
I think the interesting thing about the Neptunia, though, and we've talked about this off camera, Tom, is why we're so happy with it being good now. It started off terrible. It was the dirt worst, and it feels good to see a series learn from its mistakes and become actually decent.
So it's a complete opposite of the entire Sonic franchise.
Oh!
Boom!
Wait, are you saying Generations is bad?
What?
Are you saying Generations is bad?
No. I'm
I
saying
found some flaws in your logic, sir.
you have a giant hill, and like you have, Hyperdimension started down here, and now it's gradually making its way up there, because you guys keep saying it only gets better. Sonic started up here, amazing, and it's just gradually getting worse. And then, Sonic Generations, then it's like, go back down here now.
Yeah, Sonic Generations was the apex of the loop-de-loop.
Yeah, it was the bell.
Down the hill, went up, and then went back down again.
So, but we love you, Sega. Just stop making us mad. I don't know.
I would love to use like Green Hill Zone style map to show the progression of the Sonic series as it goes downhill.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's somewhere on the internet.
Downhill zone.
That's everything.
Giant pit of lava at the very bottom, and that's where 06 is.
Yep. Man. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Rebirth.
Yeah, that's everything I played.
You were talking about Sword Art Online.
Yeah. Cool. So
I've been very anime lately.
that's all right.
Really?
Aren't we
has
always?
been associating himself with the genre of anime? I
Trying
am
to offer
very
himself a little
surprised by these turn of events.
Yeah.
I know, there's absolutely nothing about me that would suggest I'd ever get into that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Especially not the poster behind you.
Totally not behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Brett and I, we know what we've been playing, because just yesterday / finishing off this morning was the Dreamcast marathon, and I hear an echo. Is that me? What?
That's on your side, I believe. Yeah.
Echo Dolphin.
I'm doing the headset. I don't want to have an echo the whole time.
I don't hear any echo.
I can hear it too.
Yeah, see, we're crawling back to the headsets now, aren't we?
Yes, I sound better. I mean, there's better audio quality with it anyway. All right, give me 1 second to adjust here, folks. And there's that.
Should we talk
Here's
about
my
Thursday
face.
Throwdown while he does this?
What happened?
Oh, you're back already. Cool.
I didn't go anywhere. But for some reason, Stevie got muted.
I think he muted himself. I don't know.
Oh, no, now you're good. All right. Unless, Brett, is there anything that you did want to mention before we start the Dreamcast Marathon recap?
I would like to talk about what me and Tom did on last Tuesday.
Oh, fine.
Oh,
Yeah, we-
what did you and Tom do last Tuesday?
We did a prelude to the Dreamcast Marathon and a little beta test for our Thursday Throwdown series. Why we did it on Tuesday? Because fuck you. So we played a little Persona 4 Arena. That was fun. And I don't know when we're going to try again, but I know we're going to do another Thursday Throwdown at some point. And,
Right, your face is like barely on your camera. There you are. Okay.
That's a good thing. But I think our next game's going to be Virtua Fighter 5.
Yes, Virtua Fighter 5 is going to be, I don't know, let's just say this Thursday, why not?
Sure. Why the hell not?
Hey, the plugs are at the end of this episode, young ladies.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to do that yet.
Not yet. You know what I forgot was a damn section audio thing, so keep talking about stuff. I'm
And
professional.
who knows, it might just end up on like a Sega Addicts Twitch channel, if that gets set up or not.
Yeah,
So
there's been some talk about that, especially after the marathon yesterday. There's a couple people asking about a dedicated Twitch channel. So
Yeah, you guys had a good turnout, didn't you?
yeah, we had a great turnout. We'll probably talk. Do you want to go ahead and talk about that now, or?
I'm trying to find a song that I thought I had on my thing. It's not coming.
I'll do the song.
Here we go.
You don't.
I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. Come on, bit of Elsie in here. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is better as it seems. When I fall asleep, I'd like to make myself believe.
Oh, we got OC remix up in here.
It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep.
I thought I had
'Cause my dreams are bursting.
more
at
Sonic
the
Adventure music on my iPod, but I don't.
You could have asked me, man. I got the whole soundtrack.
That's okay.
It's a good song. Do you like that song, Scotty?
I don't know much about City, but I like what I've heard of him.
Cool.
So,
Go
anyway,
on.
I guess Tom was offended by the Owl City. What happened?
Offended. It's offensive to his people.
It's offensive to Moogie.
Right. Oh man, there's still an echo.
The dolphin?
Fucking stupid camera. Yeah, okay, so we did our Dreamcast marathon yesterday. We started at 7 a.m., sort of, in the morning. And we started with Soul Calibur and Sonic Adventure. Brett started with Soul Calibur. Brett, why don't you start talking about your experience first, and I'll add to it.
Well, I usually don't play as Keelik in Soul Calibur, but I decided to use him because my bestie from Australia is a huge Keelik fan, and I figured, why the hell not? I'll play as him for her. And I've got to say, he's actually kind of fun. Surprisingly fun. I switched over to Taki after that and beat arcade mode with her. And I still think, even though Soul Calibur 5 is an inferior game, Natsu is a lot more fun than Taki ever was. A lot better design, too, but that's just because she looks like Riku from Final Fantasy X. I switched to Yoshimitsu, and it's amazing how weird he feels compared to how fun he was in the Tekken series back at that point. Like, I get there's the whole different mechanics and controls and everything, but it was a bit of a prelude to how weird they would make him in Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag Tournament 2 later down the line, because he feels more like his Soul Calibur counterpart than he does his original Tekken moveset nowadays. But that was fun. I haven't played the original Soul Calibur in a long time, so it was nice to go back and play it for a little bit.
So did you see I want to know, how big were Ivy's boobs back then?
That actually they focused more on her butt. She was the last person I played as. Actually, I did play as Ivy.
Really?
Just
Well, that shows
because.
the progression of the series. They've gone from butt all the way up to breasts.
Started at the bottom, now we here. But yeah, it was fun. I stuck with Ivy, so I lost instantly. But it was a lot of fun. I might get back into playing a little bit of Soul Calibur thanks to that, actually. So, Tom, if you've got Soul Calibur 5, we can add that to Thursday Throwdowns.
You couldn't pay me to play Soul Calibur 5.
Excellent. Anyway,
What if it was $1 million?
I don't know. It's pretty bad.
I'd still say no because feasibly you cannot pay me $1 million.
Well, one day we'll see.
What if it was $500 and like a 200-year payment plan?
Yeah.
That sounds like some Microsoft thing I've heard of before.
That's what they do with the lottery.
We'll call it Stream Plus, Dreamcast Plus.
Yeah, there we go. Still getting an echo from somewhere. I don't know who that
The
is.
dolphin?
I think it might be Brett because I muted myself for a little bit while he was talking and there was still an echo.
That's
The dolphin?
weird. Because I've got a headset on. I don't even
How
have my
about now?
speakers
Can
on.
you still hear the echo?
Let's try it again. Check, check, 1, 2. Yeah,
The
I hate
dolphin?
this. This is because of the marathon. Whatever. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody listening, watching. There's going to be a little echo. Yeah, I started with Sonic Adventure and realized it's been a long time since I have played the main story and not just messed around with different characters like on their own. So I was playing as Tails and didn't exactly know where to go, but eventually found my place and kept playing the game, so it was fun. I don't know. Next, not much you can say about Sonic Adventure that hasn't been said in the past 15 years. So,
that's not that good.
I have a lot to say, but we'll save it for my leg of that one.
but the there's someone creeping in the background of your camera, Brad.
Oh shit.
It's
Sorry.
just someone on the street because he's homeless.
Yeah. Exactly. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Next up, continuing the recap, we did Revolt and Hydro Thunder. I was retarded and couldn't even finish one race in Revolt because I tried to use that wheel with it that I have. My let me grab it for those that missed out on the Dream podcast. The Dreamcast era. Dawn, let's grab my bin of things here.
Can't say right.
No, here, this thing. I have a racing wheel for the Dreamcast, and you go like this, and that's R and L, and then there's buttons on it. But
Got
with
them flappy
Revolt-
You were playing Toy Commander with that, weren't you?
No, it doesn't work with it.
Oh,
That's
right. I thought
probably Revolt that you actually saw because it looks like Toy Commander at first glance. But yeah, that
Oh,
thing
right.
with Revolt's messed up physics, unplayable. I could not even finish the first race on the easy difficulty. So finally I got
You were
pissed
really
after
struggling,
failing it 3 times and used the controller and did a lot better. But and we also beat,
I used the controller and I did better.
yeah. I don't think like it worked with it, but I don't think they made that game thinking at all at any time that someone would use the racing wheel with it. And we actually were BSing a good bit with everybody in the chat room about like light gun games and stuff somehow because we started getting a lot of people in there just from Radio Sega helped us out a lot by plugging it. Some Sega Bits guys were in there. And just people from Tumblr and Facebook and Twitter and everywhere.
I think Sonic Paradox helped with us as well.
Yeah, Sonic Paradox. What'd you say, Stevie?
Sega Nerds?
Yeah, they helped us out.
They did plug us a good bit. I don't think any of the actual nerds were in there that I saw, but I could have been mistaken.
I'll just say because they're friends of the site.
Yeah. And then I know Kompke was tweeting us like mad, so we appreciate his help too.
Yeah.
I heard Shiggity was in there.
Shiggity was in eventually. Yep.
Yes, he was.
in
He
there.
was under a very interesting name.
I missed you, man.
When did
Yeah,
Shiggity go in?
He was about
Shiggity-
like 3 or 4 a.m.
Oh,
And he was in there under. We thought it was you coming back, Stevie, because he was in there under the name of Stevie
Stevie's
Grant's cousin
cousin.
from New York.
That was a great reference from New York.
He was either going to be
There you
Stevie's
go, you
cousin from New
Shiggity,
York
that is
or-
canon. Shiggity, it's canon that you're my cousin from New York now.
We have a
Shiggity
Sega
Brown.
Addicts canon. Holy
Confirmed.
shit.
Confirmed. But Brett was playing Hydro Thunder during that time, and it made me wish that I had that game. I don't know why I don't have that game, but
You just have to be careful which version of it you get, because my copy of it does not load my game. It doesn't have music. It's bad. And
But,
we can know how bad it was later on in the stream.
Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Describe the experience at the second hour of the marathon.
It was fun. I think even with a bad copy, I think Hydro Thunder is one of the most underrated arcade racers of all time. So it's good to show that off and remind people, hey, this was damn good. It's fucking hard on the Dreamcast, though. I have a lot more success with it in the arcade than I do on the Dreamcast version.
Oh man, I do all
I've
right
got a
with.
fun fact about Hydro Thunder. That
Okay.
actually kind you're on the skis in it, yeah?
No, you're in boats.
What?
Yeah, you're in speedboats.
Oh, you're in boats? Okay, I'm wrong one, because I was thinking there was a Sega arcade game where you're on, like, the arcade actually had, like, a little...
That was in the snow, like snow skis.
No, it wasn't. I think it might have been
No, it
Hydro
wasn't. I played it.
No, I think it might have been Hydro Thunder
What?
arcade.
No, Hydro Thunder had like a boat cabinet.
Yeah,
Boat
no, it
cabinet.
didn't. Yes, sorry. I know. Sorry, I'm silly. I just ruined your whole. Go back to Hydro Thunder. I'll go back to drawing.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm so
I put
confused.
some more vodka in this.
Oh, that'll probably help things and explains a lot because I forgot about that. And then in the third hour at 9 o'clock, we started playing. I played Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Brett was playing Capcom vs. SNK. I have gotten pretty rusty with MVC because I used to be able to get through that campaign no problem, but I was getting my butt handed to me. Probably because I played 2 more than I played 1 forever, but it was still fun. I mean, there's not much to say about that. We were kind of still just people were starting to dwindle in, so I couldn't really talk to the chat and play that game. That's impossible. So
I was able to focus on the chat as well as play mine because I'm just so. I guess I've unlocked a new level of focus with fighting games where I can just focus on other things and still be
Brett's
decent
leveled
at
up.
them. I have leveled up. I am strongest fighter.
Could it be
But
from
finally
our own
got to
practice?
What's up?
Could it have been from our own practice of trying to talk entertainingly while fighting?
Yes, I credit Tom with my success at being a god
No,
of Capcom
No,
fighting
don't
games.
credit me for anything. Own your own success, little bitch.
And then at 10
Don't him for
a.m.
anything.
Then at 10 a.m. we started earning some crazy money, and
This is fun.
Brett and I both have the first Crazy Taxi, so we put that in and played the 10-minute rounds just to see who could make the most money. And that was actually a lot of fun. Now that I was using the wheel for, and that it actually works really well with. I don't know if it's just Crazy Taxi's controls are a lot better, but it was fun just like going, making sharp turns and whatever with that thing actually with an actual wheel in my hands rather than the controller. And we noticed that there is actually a difference in some sort of the gameplay or something between the original and the arcade version. Because original, I think the city is more expansive. Arcade, they give you a lot more short distance customers, so you don't have as much time.
Like original feels like a completely different city.
It's the same city. It just starts us in a different location.
And
Does it have
all-
or not have the product placement in it, or do both versions have the product placement?
This one has the product placement in it.
Yeah,
This
this
one's
was the first one on Dreamcast. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean both
You have
versions
take me to
have
Tower Records. Take me to
Yeah.
Fila.
Pizza Hut and stuff like that. But it
Oh,
was.
imagine if it said "Take me to Blockbuster." That would have been amazing.
I wish. Yeah. That would.
The funny thing I noticed was, you can pick up like preachers off the street and take them to a church, and every time I got a preacher to a church, it was like, "You're one hell of a driver."
Yeah, they shouldn't be saying that. That's
Yeah,
blasphemous.
just like Just like
Father Jesse said a no word.
yeah, and he noticed that, and I noticed that I was driving a pregnant woman to the hospital. I'm like, I'm pretty sure no pregnant woman should be driving in this taxi cab that I'm driving.
also, in honor of Stevie, I did.
Yeah, time you got there.
song for you.
Oh, you guys, but I didn't hear what either of you said. You both talked over each other.
I just said the baby would be dead by the time you got there.
Yeah, most definitely.
In honor of
With all the
Stevie.
bumps that you did.
Well, maybe that would have worked out if she was going to Planned Parenthood instead.
Oh,
Take me to
God
Planned Parenthood.
damn.
Take me to the abortion clinic.
No need!
You're out of here!
Oh man.
In honor of Stevie, though, I did sing a
Get,
certain
like-
song for him, so he should go and watch the stream.
You did what?
If they did,
I sing a certain song for him.
Oh, I don't remember that.
What song?
But okay.
Come on, everybody,
I'll
ride
say.
in my taxi cab.
Oh yeah. Damn it to hell.
oh,
You sure
yeah,
did.
yeah. Happy
Just
that you
noting
never
that
have.
this
Does
is
it entertain? Did
That
you
was-
smang it?
I did a smanger. I wish I had. I wish I invited the Turquoise Jeep Boys in. They probably would have came over. Or at least
Yeah.
retweeted it.
How'd you like your eggs fried or fertilized?
It's worth noting that this is the point in the stream where I stopped in to call everyone losers.
Yes, I
Um,
remember this.
Oh yeah, during the chat, you were in
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
And Brett
that's-
Brett didn't realize it was from me.
Because I was so focused on kicking Scotty's ass at this.
Yeah, he just told me that someone was making fun of us, and I was just like, oh, well, that's cool. I didn't really care. I didn't know how to respond to that. I'm like, whatever, we're having fun.
I was really happy that you guys thought it was just an anonymous stranger making fun of you guys.
No,
I did not think that. I was going by what Brett told me.
I thought that because I am an idiot.
So the next hour we played Code Veronica, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Both of us, I haven't played it since I played it last year on the marathon, and still had no clue where I was going.
And I haven't played it in... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I haven't played that game as much as I've played the other ones, and I realized that I didn't want us to both start at the same part, so I was like, oh, I'll just load up like an old file or a replay file or whatever, or I mean a Game Plus file, and that was on the VMU that I lost years ago. So I started from the end of last year where I saved, so I was just an hour ahead, but still didn't have much of an idea of what was happening. But that was it was still okay. I mean, I had no clue, but Brett couldn't handle the controls, and I didn't know where to go, so we were both just milling around.
I died,
Carelessly.
and then I gave up and ate an egg biscuit.
That's symbolism somehow. And
I
yeah,
like them fried.
after that, after that was Bomberman Online and King of Fighters 99, and that was when you jumped in, Stevie.
Yes, this is
I
when
I
you
want
gave
to ask
us
you a
our...
question
our new
before we get to
mascot.
my brilliant journey with the Dead Fly. You're playing Bomberman. You've mentioned Bomberman a couple of times. The Saturn one, you're in a contest for Bomberman. You seem to be really, really good at Bomberman. Is that for the whole series, or are you dedicated?
It
Or-
gets to a certain point because after the Dreamcast game, when it started getting released online, only digital versions, they added so many items that I've just lost track. And up to that point, I'm pretty good at it. But if I try to play the Bomberman now, there's so many different items that I can't even keep up. So I'm just kind of subpar. But the older ones where it's basic, just you're on a grid, you have bombs, they have bombs, you kill them. I'm okay with that. But
yeah.
it's gotten way more complicated. The Bomberman Online thing, though, it's very much. I think they first made it thinking this is going to be an online game, and then they're like, oh, we should probably have a campaign just so people have something to play when they're not online. And so you're just fighting 5 or 6 stupid AIs with kind of cool objectives, though, because one of them you had to you set a bomb down and the explosion covers the floor in your colored paint, kind of like a graffiti mode. So that was neat. And other things like that. But I don't know. I guess I'm okay at Bomberman. I just love Bomberman. So it's the opposite of Sonic.
Yeah, I guess it's
I
not
love all Sonic games and expect myself to be perfect. I get really mad when I'm not. But with Bomberman, I love it so much, and I just have fun playing it. So I get super competitive, but I'm okay at it
Oh.
at the same time.
This is a good transition. So you and Bomberman, would you say it's a bit like me and Mega Man?
Probably, because the ones I've played absolutely to death.
So can we say, if we're transitioning from Mega Man, does this look like the dog from Valiant Hearts?
Not at all. Not at all. Stevie
Yeah, I
jumped
wonder
in,
why.
and like that's all that was on his camera was the little. What are those guys called?
Meatles.
Yeah, the little needle, and Brett's like, is that a
It
dog?
looks like the dog.
Is that a puppy? Puppy?
Yeah.
No.
And what kind of puppy has? Oh, I dropped it. Has giant eyes and nothing else, and
Yeah,
just feet.
No
From the
nose, no
front,
actual
it looked like it
snout.
had a pointy nose, like the dog from Rocko's Modern Life.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Pork
It doesn't
chop.
have a nose. It
I thought
doesn't
it
have a.
doesn't.
I thought Pork Chop was the dog.
Yeah,
Look,
no.
it does
Pork chop.
not have a nose.
Oh, yeah,
If
I'm
you
sorry.
can think-
Spunky.
You can
is
see on
Rocco.
camera,
Spunky.
it literally doesn't have a nose.
It looks like Spunky.
No, it doesn't.
It totally does.
And okay, well, let's just go. Anyway, that's the point that I jumped in, and I don't know if Tom is here to, because he doesn't know about the fly, does
Tom
he?
disappeared. Tom, come back.
The fly.
Well,
Okay, well, the first
Brett,
thing that
talk-
happened.
Brett, talk
What's that?
about King of Fighters, and then by the time you're done, Tom will be back, and we can talk about Stevie's.
Okay, yeah.
Well, KOF
We can talk
99
about the
is
fly.
probably my favorite King of Fighters game that isn't 13. Just a damn good game. Good roster. It's the debut of Gut Punch Kyo. It's the debut of K-Dash. It's just a lot of fun. And it's probably my favorite non-Capcom Dreamcast fighter by far. Not a whole lot to say about it. I will say that King's super combos are fucking OP. But that's a good thing. 'Cause that's what I use. So.
King is a girl or something, right?
Yeah, King is a girl. She was one of the first. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Oh, it's a girl. Characters like Naoto and Leo all became later on.
Interesting.
She was like a reverse Poison, basically.
Poison? That's...
Poison from Final Fight, where she.
Final fight, yeah.
Where she's
Poison's a transsexual, I think.
Yes. Yeah, she is.
She's like Birdo. She's like Birdo.
Oh, okay. See, that I understand. But yeah,
Just say
then...
since Tom isn't here, I'll talk about. So the first thing that happened when I came into the stream was I talked about a dead fly that I found on my desk. And I was on the stream.
Well, no, it wasn't even that.
Oh, that
When
Raiden.
you jumped into the chat, and the first thing you said was, "Hey guys, how's it going? Anybody want a dead fly?" We're just like, "Yep, Stevie's here."
That was my tweet
Well-
with the image I'm about to show you all. Was
Okay.
Stevie
Oh,
Grant.
that was a
Oh,
really.
God.
I love that tweet. It's just because what happened was I had the dead fly, and I have a Raiden
Tom
figure
back.
from Metal Gear Rising, and he has a giant sword, but he also comes with a watermelon that splits into two sides. So I put the dead fly. Tom, I don't know if you saw the stream, but did you hear the story of the dead fly?
I did not. I'm sorry I was so rude. I have horrible diarrhea.
Okay. No need to tell us that. But basically, what happened was I came on the a fly died, a big one died on my desk, and I came onto the stream and started fooling around, like talking to the listeners, like, look at this dead fly body, isn't this like existential and stuff? And then like I placed it on like there's the picture. I put it on like the top of a little watermelon thing from my Raiden Revoltech, and then its head fell off, and then it fell on the floor. So I have like a headless fly body just on a little watermelon prop. And that was my contribution to the stream.
Yeah,
Was
when
a
Steve
dead
came
fly.
in, the games were just the background noise because we were talking about that, and then we started quoting Simpsons episodes, and it just went on from there.
Oh yeah, just seeing what because Brett didn't get any of the references because he's a lame.
Yeah, Tom, do you like The Simpsons at all?
I liked The Simpsons when I was growing up, like late
Oh, yeah,
90s. Late 90s
When it
Simpsons was
was
the
good.
best.
Right,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what we
when
were
it was.
talking about. We're not like current Simpsons is meh, but
Yeah.
we're talking about when it was good.
And
Yeah,
if you're like, oh no, current Simpsons is good, watch the fucking Lady Gaga episode and get back to me. Or watch the fucking Lego episode and get back to me. I don't know.
Oh man,
I've
But
seen
yeah.
none of that.
neither have I.
Everything is awful.
I guess so. So Stevie left, and then the next hour kicked in where I was playing Typing of the Dead, and Brett was playing Sega GT. And then Tom actually got into the video chat, so it was cool. We were just going like in and out here, and what was cool was Tom got in and was talking to the actual Twitch chat while Brett and I were playing the game. Because if anyone's played Typing the Dead, you can't really do anything else or multitask when you're playing that game. So I'm just basically yelling at zombies and screaming out the words that I'm supposed to be typing on the screen. And Brett was playing Sega GT, which he does not enjoy. But Tom was talking.
I could make it work for an hour, and that was what mattered.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find the one screenshot. But how was that hour for you, Brett?
I was dreading it because, like you mentioned, I really don't like Sega GT. I think it's a subpar Gran Turismo clone that doesn't have any of the polish or control or just common sense that Gran Turismo has. So I was really dreading that one, but I was able to make it work pretty well. I cleared out a section of tracks, so
And
late for me,
yeah.
I guess.
Brett did well, and then I encountered this little nugget of joy during one of the boss battles of Typing of the Dead, where I had to spell it. Oh, for the listeners, I had to type out.
Zoom in a little bit.
I had to type in the. Oops, how do I do Windows?
There we go. There we go.
I had to type out the phrase "fart in a bottle" for one of the boss battles.
That's good.
Which
That's
that was a
sweet.
first for me at that game. So that's the charm of that game is there's
Stuff
so
that,
many
like,
phrases is that you
G
just
did?
that one's in there, yeah. And
Yeah, well, plus the original script, which is just hilarious. It's just so.
Yeah.
What's the
That
guy at
itself.
the end? The final, like the business guy at the end. He says
Goldman.
something. Yeah, Goldman. What does Goldman say? He says
dogs of
something.
the EMS something. I don't know.
Everything
Everything is priceless in that game. So that was cool though, because Tom was entertaining the chat room while I could not talk to anyone, and Brett was in
And that was
pain.
one of the first times we really got to know some of our Twitch stream monsters as well. There was TJ Kitsune who shared with us his amazing collection of Sega stuff, and
I was still playing Typing the Dead, so I couldn't watch any of it. What a jerk. No, I'm just kidding.
he's got the he's got like every first four figure, and a lot of them are the exclusives. Like he's got the exclusive Light Up Knuckles,
How
Light Up
rich is he?
Shadow.
That's what I said immediately when he's
And
like,
he said he's not rich.
no, Kitsune's rich.
No, he has to be.
He has to be. He's got to be
Yeah.
fucking loaded.
Well, he's got.
Can
I
you
mean,
donate some money to us, since you seem to be
Yeah,
rich,
right.
but blowing all your money on
could
first
you
floor?
cover the hosting costs for the next?
I don't want
5
hosting
years?
costs. I want dollar bills, man.
I mean, he might just be a successful single gentleman and not have kids or a wife to give money to or something.
Fuck that. Give money to us. Give us alimony payment.
Kickstart our Sega addicts.
I'm sorry, that
Yeah,
sounded
do
very
it.
sexist of me, but he might just not have anything to worry about and have an actual. I told him I was like, well, maybe if I got either a crazy promotion or a better job, I would be buying those figures most definitely. But
Or
until
crazy
then,
money.
that's my problem. That's my problem. I'm too
Become a
worried about it.
taxi driver.
I gotta stop taking the cheap pregnant woman to the hospital and actually get some better customers.
Yeah, just become a taxi driver.
I just
You'll-
got whoever I could get my hands on. I ended up winning, so.
Yes,
That's, wow. Well, quit being a whore, Brett.
I've been peeking my eyes around Philadelphia.
Get
and
ready to
there's
take some crazy semen.
there's-
Yeah, we'll get to that eventually. I had an interesting ringtone. What the heck were we talking about that I started just yelling semen in an old man raspy voice?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Nope, but our chat room called you out on it.
Called me out on it?
like, I don't know who came back. I think it was Owen Dent who came back and said something about, it's like, I come back and Scotty's yelling semen.
It was great. And
That
the
was during
next hour.
Daytona. That was during Daytona.
We'll get to
Yeah.
that in a second. But the next hour we had, I was playing Jet Set Radio and Brett was playing Sonic 2, which was pretty much the second hour of us yelling at the TV because I was
Sonic
yelling at Jet Set
Adventure 2,
because I forgot. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is what Brett was playing. I was playing Jet Set, and I realized that I've beaten that game on 360, but still have not beaten it on Dreamcast, and I was reminded why, because the controls in that game are so bad.
Oh god.
And the enemies are so fucking ganky.
Yeah, like I played
Everything
the
about
same.
that game, apart from the controls, is amazing, but the controls are so bad.
Yeah, so I was like powering through. I was on one of the levels where you had to do how the cities are each split up into 3 parts. I had to do all 3 of the parts. I'm like, I gotta do this. It's bugging me that this game isn't completed on its original system. So I was playing through that, and Tom was still in the video, and he was kind of just yelling at Brett while I was yelling at Jet Set.
I sincerely think the majority of my time on the stream was spent yelling at Brett for something.
Maybe. I don't think Tom was even watching what I was playing ever.
Well, I couldn't because your stream was always delayed. Your stream was choppy in the Hangouts window. Brett's stream was not. And I don't know what the difference was, but your stream was fine inside
I think you were
Twitch.
just doing like monitor capture for like a screen
Yeah,
share
that's
for
why.
yours.
That's why.
And mine
yeah.
was like a direct input into Hangouts.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, Brett's was easier to watch.
Gotcha.
Is the reason I spent most of my time yelling at Brett.
Or you would have been
Understandable.
yelled at by Tom.
Yeah, and then the next. Wait, I missed a part. Oh, next after that was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, where Brett and I were just. I think we started playing survival mode. Was that right?
Score attack.
Oh yeah, well, which is the same thing. But we just went through that, and again, I'm pretty
What's
rusty
your guys'
on that
main
game.
team in that game?
My main team for that was
Team
Blackheart.
Hentai.
No, that's what my buddy made. My buddy he had a bunch of teams. He played it so much he had like themed teams. One of his was Team Hentai, which was Shumagorath, Omega Red with his tentacle hands, and then Sakura. That was Team Hentai. But
Sorry.
my team was Blackheart, Iceman, and BB Hood because their failsafe is I have a screen covering special attack if they all get in there.
And mine was
Iceman represent, by the way.
Yep.
and mine was Sakura, Dan, and Venom.
My favorite team for Scotty was Team Mega Man.
Oh yeah, I had Mega Man roll and Surfbot. And who was I? I think. Oh, of course, the first match was me versus whoever in the Sentinel. So it was just the Sentinel and then Surfbot right down there.
Sentinel is pretty much. Would you like to win this round?
Yeah.
That and Magneto, of course.
Oh, I tried to use the Mango Sentinel and I couldn't get the right palette.
It's because you have a 20% chance because every button is a different. Each character has 6 different colors to them, so.
And I can't use Sentinel at all, so I was like, fuck it, I don't want to try again.
Yeah, it's no big
Wait,
deal.
you can't use Sentinel?
I
Really?
can't. I don't like Sentinel, so I barely play it.
Everyone can use Sentinel. That's why he's like the best enemy weapon in the game, really.
So the next thing, though, we started playing. I was playing Dynamite Cop, and Brett was playing Spider-Man 2, and we
I
had
put
someone.
Tom to sleep.
We
Yeah,
had
the-
someone.
Enter Electro?
No, it was Spider-Man. It wasn't Inter Electro. It was just
Oh,
Spider-Man.
okay.
But
I was going to say,
we
I
had-
loved it.
we had someone jump into the chat, and I was like, "All right, hey, guess what? You win a Sega Genesis game," because I was giving those away, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, guys? This is actually John Doherty." We're like, "What?"
No! Are you joking, John?
No, no,
Wait,
no,
Oh. Are you joking?
No,
No,
it was
he was
actually
there.
John.
How long was I gone when he showed up?
It was about 3 or 4 hours at that point.
1, 2, 3, 4. It was 5
Oh,
hours
man.
later, so you didn't like just miss him.
I
It
wish
was
I saw him. Oh, it's crazy. John, Represent, bro. It's been long.
What I found,
His name in there was Socratic Attack, so I didn't recognize that at all as one of his. So, but yeah, we just BS'd and talked about beat 'em ups and ridiculous things, and
I learned that that the original Spider-Man game was not as good as my memory made it out to be, especially stuff with Venom.
I played through all of Dynamite Cop. It's an arcade game, and I finished it in less than an hour.
Seriously, Brett's screen was just tiring to look at.
This is the issue with Spider-Man. Is the levels are too fucking long. There's this one level, this is the one Tom was talking about, the one that put him to sleep, that you just crawl up the side of the building and dodge rockets. And you know that would be fine for maybe 2 or 3 minute level. This thing's it felt like 10 minutes.
And it was long enough. It was long enough that it had a checkpoint halfway up the building.
Yeah, it was a one-hit kill as well.
It was long enough that I got bored of watching Brett fail.
It was one-hit kills, super long, super fucking annoying, and that was followed by this really ganky, not really ganky, but really janky rather.
There is a difference.
There is a difference. Janky is more enemies hitting you. Janky is more just really bad platforming for me. And it doesn't help that the camera is uncontrollable.
Last night I noticed that I enjoy sitting in feminine positions.
That's what she said?
That's
Maybe
a thing that happened last night.
one of those girls on the ads for some weird indie MMO or something Can't play now, my lord. I am Tom.
How big is your dragon?
I'll be something on you.
Yeah. And we also the chat was starting to go was getting more busy, and that was cool because we had I forget who it was, probably Kitsune, but I forget. But he was talking about random tidbits of Dynamite Cop, and he's like, "Oh, did you unlock the bonus game?" And I had no idea what he was talking about.
He was
but
talking
I did.
about Power Stone.
Was he?
Yeah, he's talking about the
talking
hats
about,
and Power Stone.
I don't think we were there yet.
We were talking about
Power Stone?
We did eventually, but he mentioned an arcadey game that you unlock in Dynamite Cop, which I had unlocked and just didn't.
Oh, that's right.
And then
Tranquilizer Gun.
Yeah, it's called Tranquilizer Gun. It got later called Safari Hunt, which I recognize that name, but it was just a fun little 8-bit Atari era romp that is bonus in Dynamite Cop. So I was playing that for the last 15 minutes of the hour since I flew through the main games fast.
We had the best people in the Twitch chat. We didn't have a lot, but we had the best.
Yeah, it was cool. Everybody was comfortable talking about whatever. And we did have some of my actual friends from real life were in there too, so that was cool.
Explain douche pickle.
Oh, okay. Well, my roommates.
I love that that's become his official name now. I'm so proud of myself.
I was well, the thing is the whole stream on my part was possible because of my awesome girlfriend lending me her entire PC to use, and I'm using her PC. I'm using one of my roommate's webcams, and my other roommate was like, "Well, I gotta give you something to use during the marathon." I'm like, "Oh, okay," and she's like, "Here, use Mr. Pickle," and Mr. Pickle is her boyfriend won him for her at a fair. He is this giant stuffed pickle that says Mr. Pickle across his stomach, has these fashionable thick rim glasses and a mustache.
With his Thug Life tattoo that has his name.
Yeah, and so he also has a hat on it that says I'm a douche, because that's the douche hat, which is part of this apartment. Instead of a douche jar that you put money into whenever you're a douche, you just wear the douche hat. So this is Douche Pickle.
I thought you'd have a swear jar, not a douche jar.
I kind of like the concept of a douche jar.
I want a douche jar.
I can't take
Actually, a douche jar, it sounds kind of like, you've got a douche jar? It's like a jar full of shit? Really?
It's, I can't take credit for that. That's from the sitcom New Girl, where they put money into it. Whenever you're just a douche, or you act like a piece of shit bro, or whatever, something dumb. So we have a douche hat because we can't afford to throw cash into a jar. But that's Mr. Pickle, douche pickle. What was next after that? Oh, I popped in Gunlord, and Brett was playing Street Fighter Alpha 3.
That's something I thought was a really clever idea, was that you put in a new Dreamcast game.
It was fun. It was cool. Lots of people were asking about it, and I remembered how difficult it is. There's only 6 levels in that game. The first time I played it, my roommate and I got to like the 3rd level, I think. But I was starting to get exhausted also at this hour. What was it? 5 in the afternoon. And it took me an hour.
How long had it been?
We started at 7 a.m. This was getting to 5 p.m. So we were almost at the halfway point, and I was starting to zone out, and I couldn't even get through the first level in Gunlord in the hour that I was playing it.
Is this when I snuck
You know
off
what
to take a shit?
I think so.
Do you know what would be a good idea for a marathon, like a Dreamcast marathon? Is if one year you just got really drunk during it, and then you could see like the elevation and the descent live on stream. How great would that be?
That'll be Tom's part next year.
That's not gonna happen.
Well, he sort of did that. He did his own mini drinking marathon later on, and that was about half an hour long. So we'll get to that.
The absinthe hasn't taken place yet.
Not yet. No, we're getting there.
Okay, I know.
Spoilers.
I'll actually. I got that in my
vaguely.
notes here. I'll read out my bullet points for that hour because it's entertaining. Yeah, Brett was playing Street Fighter Alpha 3. So do you have much to say about that, Brett? You're pretty much just destroying it in that game.
I was pretty much destroying it. It's kind of weird, though, how different the World Tour mode is in the Dreamcast version as opposed to the original PlayStation version. It seems like it's a little more expansive, but you have a lot less control over what kind of skills you can equip. I was playing a bit of that before we started recording as well, so I like a lot of the changes to it. I don't quite care for the whole limiting my skill selection thing, but it's a fun game. I think it's the best Street Fighter game, like by far, unless you count Capcom vs. SNK 2 as a Street Fighter game. But I don't.
That's
his game.
Yeah.
What's that? Yeah,
they've got different physics, except for the Street Fighter characters still have their Street Fighter physics,
Yeah, but as far as the main Street Fighter series, Street Fighter Alpha 3 is the best in the series. So I'm glad this was on the Dreamcast, so I had a chance to play it again, because I haven't played it for about a year since I played it on PSP in Sydney.
Well, that's a theme that comes up because you mentioned your schedule and you notice a lot of fighting games, but the Dreamcast was a brilliant console for fighting games, it seems.
It's a brilliant console for arcade games in general, especially for fighters. I play a lot of fighting games, but like you said, brilliant system for fighting games. You had Soul Calibur, you had the Street Fighter and Capcom series, it might not be a great game, but you still had Mortal Kombat Gold.
Project Justice.
You had Project Justice. We played that a little bit later. You had
Power
Stone, Virtual Fighter,
and Virtual On. They had every genre of fighting game you could possibly have on the system.
Yeah, it was a fighting games player's dream, which is funny.
I would argue that Dreamcast. Well, no, because some of that stuff came out before the Saturn. I was going to say Dreamcast kind of started subgenres within fighters.
Yeah, which is funny because this thing is a fighter's nightmare.
The worst.
Which is why I use this Mad Catz one with a smooth thumb pad.
I need to get the Dreamcast fight stick.
And a 6-button thing. I've got a new fight stick coming, so I'm gonna try to mod it to work with my Dreamcast as well as my PS3 and PC.
So after that one, I know this is going to have a good bit of discussion, so we started the Shenmue Journey live on the stream. So we figured, I felt bad that you weren't there, Stevie, but because Brett and I already planned on playing Shenmue at the same time, and given that 2 hours, because you can't really accomplish anything in just an hour in Shenmue.
No, apart from races.
Yeah, pretty much. That can be done in 5 seconds flat in Shenmue. But
You
So-
guys had a Shenmue journey. I had a Shenmue nightmare.
well, we'll get to that. So Tom decided, since he was still in the chat, that he was going to turn Shenmue on and play as well. So all three of us were playing. It was pretty cool. And I think that was after Crazy Taxi, that was my favorite part of the whole marathon because we had, it's a slow-paced game, so we were all just talking to each other about Shenmue or about other stuff.
I chased birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you chase birds.
Tom chased birds in the game. I was in the stealth part of the game that I don't even. You guys were talking about the stealth part like it was a nightmare. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And then when I finally got there, I was like, oh, I flew through this. This is a breeze. So, but no, I was failing hardcore. And eventually, a homeless person talks to you and says, oh, hey, I got this map for you that can help you out. And then if you do really bad, he'll draw the guards' routes on the map, and then to do even worse, he'll label the warehouses on the map for you. So I got to that point.
I love this homeless person just going, I'll just help you a little bit more.
Yeah, and
Just do
that was helping, or I mean that was happening, and I was like, ladies and gentlemen, the most throwaway NPC in any RPG ever, a homeless person. And but so that was going on, and Brett was playing and earning sweet gashupon and doing.
I want to give people a timeline of my experience with Shenmue, if you don't mind.
All I want to say real quick, is I found Santa Claus because when I started up the game, it was Christmas Day. It was December 25th, and Santa's just wandering around the neighborhood. And at first he says, "Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas," but then he actually gives you a tip for the next step in your journal and stuff. So he actually has like viable information. He's just some Santa dude wandering around.
I just want to point out.
Why was your Dreamcast set to such a high date, sir?
Oh, I don't know. No, it's not the Shenmue game. I actually have mine set to today's date, like it's current, but in Shenmue it just progressed that far.
Mine never keeps the date, so I don't even bother.
I just find it funny that I had so much trouble with the stealth section that I actually had to end my game the last time I played without saving, because you can't save during the stealth section.
You mean like before we were doing the journey for the podcast, right?
Yeah, and that is one reason why I absolutely dreaded it. This time during the Dreamcast marathon,
You brute force that sucker.
third try through it. And I didn't even sneak. I ran through the entire area.
This was after I'd gotten the third bomb encounter, and then, oh wow, that didn't sound good. Damn it. And like
Encounters of the bum kind.
Yeah. Brett was playing darts forever, and I was trying to do this stupid stealth section for an hour, and then I finally get it done, and Tom's like, oh, I think I'm going to try this. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. Oh, I got it.
Now let me talk about why I was playing darts forever. So this is what happened. I started up a resume file, and not knowing that this was actually far behind where I actually had saved. So I was just assuming, oh, this is a resume file, I must have turned this off. Whatever, we'll play again. So I started that up. I had a little bit of time to kill in the harbor before 8 o'clock where I could sneak in. So I decided, okay, I'm going to play a little bit of darts and hang out at the Tomato Mart till about 8 o'clock. So what happened was, at first, everything was going super. I was doing pretty okay at darts. Now I went on a gashapon getting luck streak. I want to show you guys an example of how damn good I was doing at that. Just one second. Where's my screen cap folder?
I think my darts game, the best I got was 392.
Yeah,
Right.
you had a much higher score than me on darts.
I know I almost broke 400, but didn't get to it.
I want to show you guys just why my darts game is superior to Scotland's.
Just why?
Because reasons. You see, he got a 16-ton anvil, and I got Alex Kidd. I got knights.
At the same time, I'm like pulling out, oh good, a Super Ball. Sweet.
I got both the Bonanza brothers. I got the Chow. I got all sorts of cool shit.
I really want that Alex Kidd.
did amazingly.
Did you do like that video called? We've watched it, I think, called "I Will
Yeah,
Avenge
I
My
gotta find out
Father's
who
Death."
killed my dad.
For those who don't know, there's a video called it's called something like "I Will Avenge My Father's Death" or "I Have to Find Out Who Killed My Father," and it's just someone wasting all their money on getting those little toys, and the description says, "I will fucking find him."
So,
Nice.
what happened next was it was about 6 p.m. So I decided to make my way towards warehouse number 8. I still had some time to kill, so I just sat there and watched Tom dance. And eventually I ended up summoning Satan.
Tom, hot dog stand, Tom.
Yeah, eventually I ended up summoning Satan, as you can see here.
For some reason, Brett was Oh, you were messing with your contrast or your brightness because you couldn't see like anywhere in the warehouse section or something.
Yeah, I was afraid I wouldn't be able to see in the warehouse section, so I was just messing with my colors, and then that happened. So about 8 o'clock hits, and the gate doesn't open. So it turns out I found out I've messed up, and I'm playing an older file. But I said, okay, this is no big deal. I'll just go back home, and I'll try again the next day. I get to the next section before you hit the section with the Hazuki Dojo.
Like he's running home.
I'm running home. I'm at the thing that I'm at the load screen, and my game freezes.
And we thought at first it was just the.
I thought it was just my streaming device at first. Yeah. I thought, okay, this is nothing. I can fix this. And then I unplugged it a couple times, plugged it back in. No fix. And I lost all those Gashapon, all that progress, all that
progress.
All the Gashapon.
I was just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna load up an old save and just play darts the rest of the time because I'm not gonna be able to get to 8 o'clock in the amount of time we had left. I think we had like 30 minutes left.
I have to be honest now. When that was happening, I did feel bad, and Tom and I were both like, "Wow, that's crappy." I mean, we're still here. You could try to get here, and you're just like, "Nah, there's not enough time." But honestly, that whole time, I was trying so hard not to laugh because you hadn't actually accomplished anything.
I was going to do the sneaking, and then the stuff wouldn't open.
I was just like,
froze.
I was just like, man, that sucks. Yeah, no Gashapon. So...
Yeah, I am.
When I was visited by Satan Tom, he cursed me, and that's what happened.
Props to our chat room though, because when the stream went down and when Scotty got it back up again, someone posted in the chat, "You saved Shenmue."
Yeah. And they were also taking, Owen Dell was taking some screenshots of Shenmue and us like messing with the Gashapon and stuff and tweeting it, and it was really cool.
Yeah, Owen then tweeted the Santa Claus.
Yeah, I saw that after we were done. That's great.
While we're here, sorry, we've mentioned. I'm going to interrupt you. I'm being incredibly rude. I'm sorry, but also the vodka's saying fuck it. One person we have to call out, Sugar D, obviously, Dr. Scottnick, who you said was there nearly the whole 24 hours?
Dr. Scottnick was there 20 hours this year, which is actually not his record even. So that's even more ridiculous.
Dr. Scottnick, you are
well, props to you.
He's a boss. You're really good at sitting in your chair and looking at TVs and computer screens like us. But no, in all seriousness, that's really cool that he kept us company for as long as he did. And a lot of people... that was cool. Last year when Josh and I did it, we had a lot of people that were in and out a bunch of times, and like overall there were the same people in, but this time around a lot of people were in for at least an hour or two, and then they'd leave and they'd come back a couple hours later and be there for like another hour or so. So that was really cool.
I think the best thing though is the fact that we had a lot of people who weren't like your usuals at Sega Addicts. You have a lot of new people.
And
there were more new people than there were regulars of the site this year, which is really awesome.
The best part is they weren't just interacting with us and making the time go by faster for us. they're interacting with each other and having some fun in the chat. So that you guys rock.
Sorry,
Yeah, it was really awesome.
Tom, you're trying to steal some credit here, aren't you, you cheeky lizard?
What?
Cheeky lizard? Pocky X, the cheeky lizard.
I'll take that one. I like it.
What was hilarious, I thought this was great, and this is just the little things that like happen during marathons and whatever, was when I was playing Shenmue, my roommate Sheena peeked in and she's like, hey, I'm going to Dairy Queen, do you want anything? I was like, ooh, I will take a Blizzard.
Dairy Queen. I don't know what Dairy Queen is.
Ice cream place, and they also have like some food like hamburgers and stuff, but mainly they're known for their ice cream. And I was like, oh, I'll take a Blizzard, which is just a milkshake with either, you can get M&Ms, you can get Oreos, you can get Butterfingers, whatever, thrown in there. And
is she an actual queen who rules the dairy
she might
land
be. All of the
scape?
cows belong
good.
to her.
I'm very glad that I know this information.
It was hilarious because I was like, oh, I'll get a Blizzard. And then I looked at the screen, I'm like, hey, chat room, what flavor Blizzard should I get? And everybody's like, oh, do this. And then I decided on a flavor.
And then, the Blizzard was like...
Yeah, I decided on a Blizzard flavor, and then she left. And then, like an hour ago...
Wait, how can you taste a Blizzard? How does a Blizzard taste?
Jesus Christ, Stevie.
Delicious.
Just push through, Scott.
Okay, I'll be sure. Just how does a Blizzard taste?
Like ice cream.
Fuck it. Okay, good. Go. I'll be silent. Shut up. I'll be silent.
And then that was like at the beginning of the Shenmue journey, and then we kicked into Choo Choo Rocket. Both of us were playing Choo Choo Rocket, and Brett hadn't played it in a while, so he was powering through the normal mode. And I realized, thanks to Tom, how boring Choo Choo Rocket is on a stream. So I stopped playing that and instead put in Mars Matrix, the shoot 'em up game.
And when you put in Mars Matrix, we brought some other people in from Twitter who wanted to see that.
Yeah, so it was cool.
I was just going to say, Choo Choo Rocket is good by yourself, but it's only fun by yourself because the fun is in the planning of the traps and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's a game that you can actually play like with somebody else. You can just hand off the controller on the next puzzle, but on a stream, it's not the most exciting thing, unless you were doing like multiplayer somehow in there. Good gosh. But,
yeah, and this is the point when I started yelling at Brett a lot.
Yeah,
because Brett was not doing, he was not doing smart things, and then because I don't know why, but I feel like my increased yelling at Brett is when the absinthe special started.
Maybe. Well, what was funny is you were helping him. Yeah. You were trying to help him, Tom. And then there's Dr. Scottnick, who is actually helping me in the chat, and he's like, no, think of it like a grid. Put your up arrow in F5 and the left arrow in C3. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. And I just, like, move along to the next level. Meanwhile, you're yelling at Brett.
Brett, left 2.
Yeah.
Left, you fucker.
I want to hear about this absinthe.
Well, and right before that, though, people, while we were playing Choo Choo Rocket, everybody's like, where's the Blizzard? Scotty, where's your ice cream? Like, people were wondering, like, yeah, where is that? It's been over an hour. And eventually she came back, and I was like, yes, Butterfinger Blizzard. And then we moved on to Power Stone 2 and Project Justice.
I do like how the chat did almost invent the saga of the missing Blizzard.
Yeah.
That was a good time with them.
Yep. So I started Power Stone 2 and forgot...
What if she brought back an actual Blizzard? What if she brought back an actual Blizzard?
So
and then you were like, whoa, what's all this snow? What's all this snow doing in my house?
And then Scotty started Power Stone and Brett started Project Justice.
Project Justice!
I'll talk about Power Stone real quick because it was stupid. Because I remembered how much more I liked the first Power Stone, because you cannot get through that campaign with an AI helping you easily, because the AI will kick the shit out of you while you're on every boss, or the boss will only target you while the AI is doing fuck all in the other corner. And so I think it was Dr. Scott who
Don't
asked me
read
actually.
about the AI. What if the AI is actually secretly your mother playing, and now you're like, the AI sucks. You're actually dissing your own mother.
Owendon was actually in the chat and bringing up the hats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the hats that I.
Why would you say that to your own flesh and blood? Why
I
would
just
you
didn't
do
care.
this? Scotty, why would you disown your family like this?
I had things to do.
Okay, good.
A
Go ahead.
reminder to the listeners and possibly the viewers who might need a reminder is
Yeah,
that Stevie has not stopped drinking hot chocolate with vodka for this entire episode.
That's true. We're over an hour in, so. But yeah, Power Stone 2 is better playing with a buddy than by yourself. And apparently Stevie's just gonna pee right here on camera. Yep. He had a little bit of trouble getting out of the couch chair thing, so.
Getting out of the couch.
He'll be all right.
Well, he was in the couch. So go, Brett. We'll try to make progress here.
Oh, Project
Let's
Justice.
Go quickly.
Project Justice is such a damn good game, and I'm not very good at it, but playing it on this stream has made me want to recommit to getting good at it because I think, as far as its aesthetic, it's wonderful. Music's not it, but that doesn't matter. Gameplay is wonderful. Character roster is wonderful. It's probably I would say it's the best non-Street Fighter.
And just the conversations we were having while playing Project Justice makes me wonder if we could do like a dual stream Thursday Night Throwdown with both of us just playing Project Justice.
I feel like we could. I think that could be fun. I'd also like to point out probably the greatest combo attack in fighting game history. The Ouroboros wheel. If you do like a party up technique while using, I think, Natsu.
Natsu as the lead.
Yeah, Natsu is the lead. If you do a party up technique, her and your other two partners will form a wheel and run over your opponent. It's the most ridiculous fucking thing, and it's so wonderful.
It is the most ridiculous thing in a very ridiculous game.
It's so good, though. My only issue was how hard the boss was, but whatevs. He's not as bad as like a Junpachi in Tekken 5.
Yeah, I beat him before.
Yeah, he's not that bad. He's just kind of frustrating.
So this is this. I feel like the Absent Special didn't start yet, or it already did.
It wasn't until
it was in progress.
Ill Bleed and Blue Stinger, so 2 hours later.
No. Ill Bleed and Blue Stinger was the come down of it.
Did you start drinking during Daytona then? Because that was the next section.
It might have been during Power Stone.
Okay.
Because I drank. I was drunk during Daytona.
Oh, I think, yeah, you started when we started Power Stone and Project Justice, because I remember you held up a glass, and then that was all we saw of it.
Yep. Then I was very drunk during Daytona.
Yeah, but Daytona was fun, because it was just me and Brett playing against each other on the main track. We were doing the time attack mode.
Yeah.
Which is 8 laps on there, and it was getting it down to like, oh fuck, this lap is over 18 seconds, I'm screwed. Like, it was cool though, because I've never played racing games at all seriously, so it was neat.
And
it was a different experience for me.
And the most amazing thing happened. Scotty Moe beat me at time attack on Daytona, USA.
I thought you won overall.
No, you won.
Scotty won.
Oh.
You won the last match by like 3/300ths of a second.
Yeah. That was insane. I think we both got a screen cap of that because of how close it was.
I do. I have one. Let me pull that up right quick.
You might be able to see both screens better than I can because mine was all split up a good bit.
Everything was really tiny on yours, but I've got a really good one right here. As you can see, I am in the black and green down here at the bottom. Scotty is in the traditional blue and red.
Oh, wow. I did. Okay. I thought you won for some reason.
No, I finished before you, but I think...
Oh, that was it. I think I paused the game at one point, and you actually You finished. Oh, great! Here comes Hitler.
Shit.
Oh no! Oh no!
Stevie's back, and he
He wants you.
hates the Jews.
Really?
So, but that was a
Sega
cool.
Addicts, Sega Addicts was the one place where you could complain about the Jews.
I think so.
Oh
Yeah,
God.
sure, we'll go with that. But the next hour was Illbleed and Blue Stinger, and
Hangover.
Hello. Oh fuck. Hello.
hello, welcome back, Stevie.
Oh, sorry. Let me get back. What did I miss? Sorry, I was having a.
We talked about Daytona, how Brett and I raced against each other, and now we're
Actually,
about
if
to
it was
talk
called
about.
Night Toner, if it was called Night Toner, imagine how different that would be.
It'd be edgy as fuck.
Yeah,
No.
darkness, no parents.
Alright, well, let's
So
stop
the next
talking
one-
about paedophilia and the concept of effectiveness and get on with this shiz, alright?
Yeah, Illbleed and Blue Stinger was the next hour.
You're
So-
a blue stinger.
Well, actually, that was Brett. He was blue stinging it. We actually didn't do any screenshots of this one, and I realize it's because I'm a noob at Illbleed, and I spend so much time just explaining the game to everybody.
And I was taking too much time trying to find a baseball bat.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. What is Illbleed?
Illbleed was made by the same guys that did Blue Stinger. Climax Gaming, or no, Climax Graphics was what it was called.
Stevie, I think you would really like Illbleed.
Yeah, I think so.
See, I've heard of it before, but I'm not quite sure what the genre of video game it is.
I'm sure Josh has talked your ear off about it, probably. 'Cause he loves
I
it.
know, but I always get it confused with Blue Stinger, and I don't know what the difference between them is.
Illbleed it's a third-person game, and it looks like the story behind it is this girl, her dad was the owner of a haunted house or haunted houses, and would force her through them to test them out, and so she
That's
had kind of
bad.
a messed up childhood, yeah. And her friends learn about this crazy haunted house or haunted theme park, sorry. And so they go into each one of these attractions that could actually kill you, but if you survive and win, you get hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they're like, "Oh,
I
let's
love
do
that
this! Fun times!"
I'm gonna buy
I
a
love-
chainsaw!
I always love the kind of like dangerous theme park, dangerous video game type stuff.
Yeah. Well, with that, so because of that, they basically get away with everything, and they're just like, "Fuck it, let's throw blood everywhere!" And oh, by the way, there's trolls that steal shit from you, and you're
Look at
fighting
you,
a giant
naked.
worm now, and this dad torched his house and his child, so you get to use that child's baseball bat to beat the father while he's trying to set you on fire. So it's just
Of course.
nonsense, but it's fun.
There's some stuff in there designed to just make you feel uncomfortable while playing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it's
so.
not Silent Hill levels, but certainly just you don't feel right.
Yeah.
You know what? To my house, give me an envelope, and inside the envelope is an example. Give me one of those.
Of a level in it, or what?
Comfortableness?
Yeah.
I was specifically referring to the old guy who looks at you naked.
Oh no, it wasn't that. You have this thing
Oh.
called I know what he's talking about, but you have this thing called a horror monitor, which is just goggles that you wear to find. The whole basis of the game is you have your heart rate and your sanity meter, and your sights. You have the four senses.
Eternal Darkness.
A little bit, yeah. Because you have sight, sound, and smell, and then you have your sixth sense. And when all of those are going berserk, the horror monitor's there. So, but and you get that, and when one of your senses is kind of, you just have a what's it called? Oh shoot. When you
EKG?
EKG it's flatline normally, but when it's blipping for each sense, you're like, oh, I need to put the goggles on and like look around. Oh, there's a trap. Let me queue that up and just walk over to it and collect some XP points. Because if you don't, the trap will scare you, raising your heart rate or lowering your sanity, or it might actually hurt you and you'll be taking damage. So you have to slowly progress through the levels, preventing this from happening and earning money by exposing the traps and disarming them, as well as getting into combat fights and beating enemies senseless and stuff. Well, in the second level, But it doesn't tell you that anywhere in the game, so I actually had to look up a strategy guide because I just wandered around the first level and basically died pretty quickly because I didn't even have the goggles that I needed. So you get them and it's much easier. The second level, you find the goggles and then immediately this like elf troll thing steals them from you and you're just fucked.
What a dickhead! What like an utter
Yeah.
twat! Why would
So
he
then-
do that? Maybe his mother raised him
Because
badly.
well, you find out why, I guess, because when you control this this chick from high school with purple hair, and when she's walking around in the second level, and a cutscene breaks in, and there's a dude laughing in the woods, and you see it's the little troll thing with the goggles on, looking at her, and she's naked for no reason. I guess apparently the goggles have X-ray vision too. So, and then it just flips back to her, and you're walking around again. That's it.
Like Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. Or no,
Sure.
Secrets. Send it in, SegaAddicts.com, you'll find out.
Okay. So that's
You know.
Ill Bleed. It makes no sense. And
It's not even hot chocolate anymore, it's just vodka.
But for my bullet points, I have here, didn't get any screenshots because I'm a noob and spent too much time explaining Ill Bleed, which was actually fun, like telling people about this game, because not many, either no one knows about it, or you know about it and really want it but won't buy it because it's like $80 on eBay. And my bullet point was, didn't get any screenshots. Brett actually enjoyed Blue Stinger, and Tom
did.
drank.
Blue Stinger was
You didn't even hear what I said.
Oh.
I said
Yeah.
my bullet point was Brett actually enjoyed Blue Stinger.
You fucking idiot. Why would you fucking do that, you dickhead? You fucking... I wish you were fucking dead. You dickhead, you fucking twat. You fucking... I fucking hate you.
The second bullet point was Brett actually enjoyed Blue Stinger, and the third bullet point was Tom
Oh,
drank.
did he? That's nice. Tom, what did you drink?
I had absinthe, and
Fucking,
I
did you
finished
see things? Sometimes people see things of absence.
that is a myth.
I was gonna say I've
My
never
dad's-
heard that.
Is an urban legend, but the problem is I didn't dilute it enough, and I put too much in my glass.
So
You're
it's,
supposed,
Brett,
supposed to dilute it until it becomes about the strength of wine.
the thing of why doesn't know about absinthe, so describe the strength of absinthe to Brett.
I've heard stories.
Is about 130 proof.
But he doesn't, you know, he's one of those stupid.
Yeah.
I'm just
Steve,
gonna
you
let this
totally.
go.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just keep going.
And anyway, so I drank a lot, and then I was coming out of my hangover. Because the thing is like I said on the stream, I don't really get hangovers because I get drunk, and then I get sober up very quickly, and then I just feel like shit the night of.
Tom, I didn't mean that. I love you, really.
I'm glad.
Let's get married in Las Vegas.
That's probably not going to happen.
That's my birthright.
Shot down immediately.
I said probably.
All right. The next hour was Pen Tri-Isolon and Tokyo Extreme Racer, which I wish you had stuck around, Tom, because the reactions to Pen were hilarious in the chat room.
Wait,
I
we
was so
didn't even
happy
get
about
the
it.
story. The story. What did you do when you were in that state, Tom?
What?
I kind
There's
of.
no story.
As soon as Brett was done playing Blue Stinger, I said, "Fuck it, I'm going to bed." And you know, once again, I can't help but give one more props to the chat room, who very nicely said bye to me. You guys were great.
Oh,
Very low.
nice chat room. Chat room. Nice.
It does say a lot about the internet when it's nice that they just said bye rather than just everything else that they could have said, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, then like, yo, bitch ass faggot, yo.
Get the
Yeah.
fuck off the stream.
So that was
Yeah.
cool, though. We had a lot of nice people in there.
Yeah.
When you're drunk, motherfucker.
But
So
the next one was Pen Tri-Isolon and Tokyo Extreme Racer, which I entitled that theme Japan Be Crazy, because Pen Tri-Isolon is a batshit of a racing game. And I got the exact reaction I wanted from everyone in the chat whenever they were jumping in, because so many people were logging in and literally saying, "What did I just walk into?" or something like that.
Aren't you a penguin in that
Yeah,
one?
it's here, let me get a screenshot of
You're
it.
an inbred penguin.
This was a yeah, you pretty much are because it's like penguins as the base breed, and then you have you have a dog, you have a walrus, you have a shark, you have a whatever else. But it's a racing game. It was a launch game as well, so I think that's why not many people know about it because it kind of flew under the radar. In all good reason. Oh damn it! I only have the title screen. That's stupid.
Wow, it's weird that something that niche
There's that
would
there.
be
Yeah,
a launch game.
kind of. So
You
that's the
should-
title screen, but that doesn't really tell you anything.
And we went and I kind of made an observation about that being a launch game for the Dreamcast as opposed to what we're getting now. Because, and I'll go into it again here in case people missed it, I think it's great that the Dreamcast had that as a launch game because it showed off that like the creativity that you could get with that system as opposed to what you see with like the PS4 and the Xbox One right now where their launch titles are just up-res PS3 games.
Basically.
So I'm going to show you the character select screen here. Oh shit, it went away. I hate everything.
You're gonna show that, and the people at home are gonna be like, "Oh, what?" and they're all gonna orgasm.
This is the character select screen, so that gives you an idea of what you're controlling in the game. Yeah, there's a whole lot of colors right there. And
If
then
you're not coming right now, you're a dickhead.
the actual game just... Oh, what the hell? Windows, just fucking let me select a picture. The actual racing part of the game... Oh, I guess we're not going to look at that one. That's cool.
Well,
The
I can see it. It looks a bit like the fucking Mario Kart, but
Whoops.
no, it looks like Diddy Kong's Racing.
Whoops, I just went to an emulator site. This is real great.
Oh
So,
my god, that's illegal.
whatever.
You're off
That's a
the
racing game. That I feel like the best way to describe it is like the people that were making an adventure game, and at the last second realized that was too big for their britches, so they're like, I would just throw these on racetracks, because you do jump around and you actually walk through some parts of the level, but mainly you're like sliding on your stomach and swimming underwater and stuff. So it's a triathlon in the ice. So it's Pen Triathlon.
Oh, good
But it's
pun.
up to 4-player. I'd
Very
really like to
fun.
actually play with a group of people because I feel like it'd be ridiculous.
The dolphin.
Perhaps. And then Brett played Tokyo Extreme Racer then.
Yeah, and I didn't have a lot of experience with the game before last night, but I'm really impressed with how they handled it because, you know, normal street racing game or city racing game is, you know, just a race. But this one has health bars. It's a dual game, and it has health bars for the two cars. And it's very interesting how they went about doing that and making that work. It was a very fun game.
I just caught up Brett in the chat, everyone, so that's why he's just kind of stalling for a second.
So it was a it was a very I had a lot of fun with it.
All right, I just
I'm
want to
so
say
annoyed.
this is what happened. This is what happened in the chat. I don't want to exclude everyone, but Tom just told us he has to go in about 15 minutes, and I said, cool, we need to speed this along anyway and not actually discuss the game so much as the experience. And then in all caps, Brett, and because he was describing the physics of the cars just now.
And we also got my picture to go. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, we'll fly through that. That's no problem.
Tom, why you gotta go? Why can't you just stay here forever and I'll rub your nipples?
But
I'm gonna rub them.
I'm just messing with you, Brett, though. But I think we do need to talk more about, like, not so much how we had fun playing the games, because it's more about the whole marathon
Yeah.
itself. So,
Brett, here's the real deal. How much pussy did you get during the marathon?
My cat jumped on my lap a couple times.
Okay, there you go.
excellent
There you go,
response. That is the correct response. What was the next one? Oh, Unreal Tournament and Mortal Kombat. That was another good just BSing round, I thought.
Yeah, it really was, and it was nice to be able to show off how. I mentioned this after the stream, and I'll mention it here as well. The fact that Mortal Kombat 4 is so bad, Mortal Kombat Gold is so bad, but MK9 is so good. One of the things I really wanted to get across playing that is showing people how good they've got it now with MK9 and MKX, where they're so damn good. But you look back at the series from MK4 on, and it was so fucking bad. And you can just see how unfinished the game was, and that was kind of fun to discover, too. Like, how unfinished it was. And
I played Unreal Tournament, which everyone and their mom under the sun has played. Yeah. I don't need to say anything about Unreal Tournament because...
Scotty, how real was that tournament?
Oh, it was real. Shit got real. So it was very much the concept.
It was supposed to get unreal, though.
So...
It did not live up to its name.
I mean, I played the game to death on PC back in the day, so jumping in on Dreamcast was fun, too. Killed it. And we were actually... I think this was the time that we were talking to Dr. Skotnick and pretty much convinced him to get a Dreamcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
He was looking at stuff on... He was starting to look at auctions on eBay, and we were talking about, like, the prices of systems and some other people in the chat. It wasn't just one person. Like, everybody was saying, like, oh, I think I asked people what... Someone started talking about what launch games they got or something like that.
That was when I was still on it. That all started with Dr. Skotnick.
Oh, okay, that was a little bit ago. Well, it continued for this long then, a couple hours later. So... but that was cool. Next up was Vigilante 8 Second Offense, which I was playing, and Brett was playing NFL Blitz. I was kind of being a noob in V8 because I forgot how to progress in one level, and we learned that Brett hates football.
I hate NFL Blitz. I really do.
He was getting demolished for stupid reasons in the game, basically.
Every time something went right for me, every time I completed a play or got close to scoring, fumble. Fuck that game. Fuck it. I almost broke the disc on stream.
Moving on.
I was actually starting to get tired, which was funny because on my side of the stream, it's just, oh man, this is a good game. I like Vigilante 8. I'm trying to not fall asleep, and then Brett's over there. Are you serious?
Motherfucker, seriously? And that was also about what time I was starting to have technical difficulties as well.
Yes, which brings us into the next hour. I was playing Rush 2049 and just messed around with the soundtrack.
Is this before or after Brett fell asleep?
I didn't fall asleep.
I don't think he fell asleep at this point.
I nodded off a couple times. So
he nodded off. I want to say it was...
It was during, like, King of Fighters.
Yeah, it was in the next portion. But Hydro Thunder and Rolling Starts, nope, Rush 2049. I was playing Rush and messing around in Stunt Track, and until, because Brett was having tech difficulties with his capture thing, it wasn't displaying. It wasn't getting the sound to go through, and he was
like. It wasn't supposed to go through on Twitch, but I cannot play a game without having some sound cues coming through either my headset or my speakers, and none of my sound was working, and I was afraid either my Dreamcast was dying or my capture device was dying, so I didn't get a lot of stuff played during that hour. But
yeah, I was kind of just messing around, and then when it was sort of working for him, I to try to keep everyone distracted, I was like, so, should I keep going with the stunt track, or should I do a race? And everybody's like, do a race. And instead of using the racing wheel, I used a controller and actually made it through a circuit for the first time in Rush 2049. So that was cool. And then we jumped into Toy Commander for myself, King of Fighters 2002, I think.
I cycled through all three of the King of Fighters games I had.
Okay. I was playing Toy Commander, and I pursued one level, got pissed, and then demolished the level because I wasn't going to play this level for over half an hour and not beat it. And meanwhile, Brett was over there kind of, I wouldn't hear anything, so I'd just be flying around in Toy Commander, derp to derp, just be like, Brett, you awake? Brett!
Yeah, I'm totally awake. Totally.
Yeah, he's playing fighting games in his sleep at this point.
I zone out sometimes when I play King of Fighters.
And also closes his eyes.
Zone out, more like moan out.
You can see my eyes, yo. You have no idea.
Do you remember the movie Girl with a Pearl Earring?
Nope. And then in the next hour we played Zombie Revenge, and Brett played Capcom versus SNK 2.
Yeah, I did. I played that again. And again, just a little bit of survival mode dicking around. It was fun.
Yeah, that hour was kind of just like, let's try to play these games to stay awake for a little bit before we get to the last round. Because Zombie Revenge, I died pretty quick and just went through the bonus modes and whatever. And then, the last hour,
the grand finale!
Soul Calibur with this thing right here, the fishing rod.
Pole caliber.
Yeah, fishing pole caliber with key leak. This rod will be your doom. And Brett was playing Sonic Adventure.
I'd like to say talk about what happened at Sonic Adventure if you don't mind.
Oh, well, real quick, I'll just sum up. I flew through the arcade, so then I tried survival mode and got
You fucking killed survival mode. You got like 29.
I know I passed 30. I want to say it was 35. All I was doing was going like this, just waving it forward and backward the whole time and spamming with key leak. So,
That was awesome.
that was me, and Brett can talk about his glitch real quick so we can...
Oh, yeah. Sonic Adventure 1, I didn't have a clear file for Sonic Adventure 1, so I tried to start off where I left off back in like 2011, I think. And I just finished Windy Valley, and I was supposed to go get the Lightspeed Dash in Station Square. So I went in that little sewer thing where you get the Lightspeed shoes and everything, and you have to hold down the button to charge your Lightspeed Dash and all that, and then travel out of the sewer along that trail of rings. Well, no matter what I did, the Lightspeed Dash would not take me out of the sewer. And it auto-saves after you get the shoes. So that save just has Sonic perpetually stuck in the sewers. There's no way out. I tried every way possible. Scotty tried to help me out.
Yeah, it was messed up. Like, he just wouldn't... He would rocket up like through 3 rings and then just smash into the ceiling. Or just not even go up the rings.
No, he wouldn't go... Most of the time, he wouldn't even go up. He'd just get those 2 rings, then leave the 3rd one, and not even bother with going up at all.
So he switched to Sonic Adventure 2 and played White Jungle a little bit and some other stuff in the Green Hills Zone.
I played Green
to at least
Hill.
end on a positive note.
We ended on City Escape with a sing-along, and that was fun.
That happened. That did happen. I made
ruined the
songs
song.
about what I was doing, and I was also wearing a luchador mask and the Sonic scalp at the same time.
You were the Ultimo Hedgehog.
Something like that. So that was the stream, and we had a lot of people in, and it was great. My buddy AJ that was in, he said if he can, he wants to actually join me in real life and sit down and play through all the stuff with me too. So that would be pretty sweet if he was able to do that. So that's the impact that it had on him, because he was in the chat before and after his shift at work, and he's just like, I hate my job, but this is fun watching you guys play games.
I just want to point out that was a very awkward moment for me when someone posts in the stream that they hate their life, and it's like, I don't know how to respond to this. I am a commenter on video games right now.
And that's because you don't know him personally, and I knew that that meant he had just gotten done with work, so...
I did not know that. All I know is that there's someone saying how much they hate life in the chat. And I can't really gloss over that.
Nah, it wasn't that
Hey,
big.
for all you depressed people out there, don't be depressed. There you go.
Watch video games.
Problem solved.
You're cute.
I forgot to
You're
show everyone that I do have this giant Quake 3 sticker on my Dreamcast, because when I was a cool kid with the Dreamcast, I like stickers, and I stupidly put this on the top of it.
And
So,
I shared a story about how I stole an NFL Blitz lid sticker.
yeah, Brett's a rebel.
Only
So
thing I've ever
You are
stolen.
that was the marathon, and it was great, and we are going to have a recap post on the page in a couple of days where we both write about it and try to summarize it a little more so, but I wanted to get our immediate reactions here the day after.
Hey, no, don't
a
do
lot
that.
of fun. So I'm glad that we had so many people tuning in,
No, don't do that.
and that Brett hates his parents.
Yes, I do.
Brett, why would you hate them? They birthed you.
I thought,
You're
They're
you were-
annoying as hell.
I thought you were having
Your
pussy
mom
problems
sat like
for a minute.
Sat like this for hours and went hoo, 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 for hours just for you, and you can't be fucking grateful
This
for one
stream
fucking second.
is 18 plus rated.
Yep, sure is. Speaking of that, Stevie, do you want to do your art corner?
Yes, I've sent it to you.
Oh, great.
It's in your email. I'm gonna have a bit more vodka and hot chocolate.
That's a
There's
horrible
hardly any.
idea.
There's hardly any. Can you tell I'm drunk?
Yep.
Yes.
Shit. Which email did
I
you send it
had
to?
no idea.
Scott email at Sega Addicts.
Damn it! I don't have access to that on this computer.
Give me one.
No, I got it. I can get it. Brett, give your
Okay, then.
recap of the marathon real quick.
I'm surprised I made it through the entire time. I'm surprised Scotty does not want to kill me after spending 24 hours with me.
I barely spent it with you. I was talking to everybody else.
Oh, that explains everything. I could still die.
Huh?
I said you probably want
We
to
could all die. What are you talking about?
No, I said you probably want to kill me after spending 24 hours with me.
Oh, okay. No, doesn't matter. It's fine. I hope that this actually sent to me. Boy, I am surely prepared for this.
Yeah, you are. You are prepared for this.
Tom, what are you doing?
Shining a light into my eye for fun.
Okay, then I've got a story for you
Oh, I
where
got it.
Scotty gets this email. Okay, Scotty, put your email. Okay, I'll explain the section. This is Stevie's Art Corner. Have you done the jingle?
Nope. Have you heard it?
Very superstitious.
Well,
writings on the wall.
FUCKU. So put the jingle on so I can explain the section. So.
Okay. That's
Right,
all.
everyone here is cunts except for me. I'm amazing. Stevie's Art Corner is a section where I draw something to do with the episode or not to do. In fact, it's just a drawing. Today's drawing is themed with the Dreamcast marathon. You'll see how it's themed after it. Just look at the
Yeah,
fucking
that's it right
picture.
there. Sure is themed on something. What happened? What? What's wrong?
Display the picture.
I am.
Uh,
I am? Aren't I?
yeah, you are.
Okay, well, nobody said anything, so good radio.
Yeah, dude, I was saying, Brett, make that the screen to focus.
Oh, alright, go for it, Stevie. Explain yourself.
Brett, you're the one in the hat.
That's not a hat. That's a ceremonial Indian headdress.
No, it's a hat, and Scotty is the green E1, and in the middle is like a Dreamcast, and you're licking it, Brett, is what you're doing, if you can see. You're licking the Dreamcast.
My eyes are bleeding. Not in real life, just in the thing.
In the pit, and Scotty's all like, what? And you're like snake creatures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just like me.
And it says, still thinking, which was the catchphrase, just a little, I bet this is what the Dreamcast Marathon looked like exactly.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's what I felt like after it. Like I was
So there
just
you go.
running around.
Scotty on top, Brett on the bottom, and I don't mean a
That sounds like-
euphemism.
I
I don't mean butt fucking.
Great.
God damn it.
So that was, I'm just watching over Brett while he's, for some reason, looking his Dreamcast.
Well, I'm trying to give it encouragement to go on.
I'd like the blonde highlights that you added for me. Thank you.
I put in, fuck off. I'm just doing things. Can't you, my artistic, have you ever seen Clerks?
What?
Have you seen Clerks 2?
Let's go with the plug now.
Have you seen Mallrats?
Sure have. Is that what you want to plug, Stevie?
Yeah, I'd like to plug Mallrats and Chasing Amy and James Silent Strike Back and Red State and Tusk and what other ones has he done? Jersey Girl, Zack and Miri making porno. Dogma is a good one that I'd like to plug. Seriously though, I'd like to plug the Stevie Grant on Twitter. Chucklebits Radio is a good podcast. DaleLazarov.com. If you're straight, you're going to have a bad time with that website. You probably might not like it.
But if you live in like a
like to-
southern state like Alabama, go ahead and check it out. It's good times.
Yeah, do that. I'd like to plug Glenn's vodka. It's a very good vodka. And the Sega Ow! I just bashed a bottle on my. Ow! That hurt. I don't know why I did that again. Basically, the Sega addicts go next one.
Tom, go.
Tomas.
Okay, so you can follow me on Twitter at SegaTomcast. You can check out my art that I like to do. I like to paint an art or two. Facebook.com/art. And theamazingtom.tumblr.com. I really need to do something about that name. It seems very self-serving now that I'm actually trying to promote something. Coming soon to Sega Addicts was going to be a little feature between Brett and I where we do a fighting. He'll talk about that more. And I'm going to have a review for Oculus Trip. So if you've been waiting for my opinion to see if you should know if you get that game, then you're dumb. Get the game.
All right, cool. Brett, plug something.
I would like to plug. Oh yeah, right. Suzuki Rainmaker at Twitter and Tumblr, and we also have Thursday Throwdowns coming to, I believe, Twitch TV/Sega Addicts. Either next week or this week, probably this Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be playing.
Do we have that account yet?
I'm going to get it. Like right.
Okay,
after
we
this.
should get it before we tell people which account.
Nobody else is going to steal the Sega Addicts name.
They might.
If they do, I will send Stevie.
We're gonna start streaming more stuff on Twitch, is what Brett's trying to say.
Yeah, basically, a lot of people in the chat ask us to start streaming more, so we're gonna do it. So fuck yeah, we're gonna do some fighting games. We're gonna do some Virtual Fighter. I'm gonna suck at it, but that's okay because it'll be entertaining. So yeah, there you go. Suzuki Rainmaker on
virtually fine.
And,
by the way, people, if you're using the Amazing Tom, it's TOM, not THOM, which is what Tom usually uses. What I'm doing is I'm clarifying because Tom is disregarding his own namesake.
Tom actually just left, so see you later, Tom. He had to go. I'm going to put my Twitter, Scotty Mofo Show.
I just licked my knee.
And you can check me out on there, and you can also check out my band on there, Wine Spirit PGH. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Bandcamp and all that good stuff, Wine and Spirit. I do want to give a shout-out to everybody again who joined us in on the marathon. It was a really good time. And I want to plug my giant Sonic Adventure Dreamcast candy behind me. Look at that cool thing. Everybody enjoyed that in the cast. I'm just bragging about my junk now. Bragging about my junk.
That's fucking fuck.
So we'll do, maybe do a dance party here. I'm trying to do something. This might work, this might not. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. But check out the website, sega-addicts.com. We're going to have a recap of the marathon, short little thank you thing. I've got a lot of Genesis games to ship out. Look at all this shit that I have to ship out to people, as well as some other stuff that people won during the marathon. So, without further ado, Pocky X was here. With me today has been Brett Brett Haxfield.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
And also Stevie Grant.
Underage drinking is cool.
Yep, and I've been Scotty Mo. So we'll see you on the interwebs.
No, wait, go away. Thomas Evan Tars was in it.
Yes, he was.
Thomas Evan Tars.
God damn.
Oh boy.
What up, Spidey?
That's it. That's all I got. Sega Addicts Podcast.
Go away.
See you guys later.
Stop and junk later, motherfuckers.